Hello there everybody, good evening, welcome back to another video. I feel so grateful and honored to be able to share with you the book Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender by Dr. Hawkins. I really find that this book is so powerful and full of wisdom and healing, and with your help and a subscription to the channel and a thumbs up on this video, you can help spread this message as well, and maybe you can find some healing, and maybe your friends or family can also resonate with what I'm sharing. And today I want to talk to you about chapter 3 and 4 of the book. And in chapter 3, we're focusing on the specific anatomy of our emotions and the different emotional scale that we go through in any given day or any given moment. Whereas chapter 4, and then progressively throughout the book, in the next videos to come, we're going to focus specifically on one emotion at a time, and we're going to dive into that and understand what that means. So Dr. Hawkins, he identified the scale of emotions that we go through, and at the top is the best or the highest vibrational frequencies or energies that we experience, and then slowly we work our way down. And at some point we reach courage. And Dr. Hawkins identifies courage as the thing that we should be aiming for to actually incite change in our lives. And everything that exists below courage can be considered an unhealthy or a destructive behavior, as he calls it. So at the very top we have peace. And this is a sense of oneness, a sense of belongingness to the earth. We feel perfection and bliss. Below peace is love, and this is like unconditional love, unchanging love, where you have feelings of nurturing, care, and supportiveness. Below love is acceptance, and this is easygoing and laid back. It's okay, I accept life the way it is. I'm okay, you're okay, everything is what it is, and we accept that. Below acceptance is a sense of neutrality, where neutrality is you're neutral. You're not affected positively or negatively by anything. You're just neutral. You just allow things to be what they are. Below neutrality is courage. And so as I just said, courage is like the lowest, best emotion that we can feel. And when we're in a state of courage, what happens is we have these feelings of, I can do it. You're determined and you feel self-empowerment. And I think these past weeks, I've really been living in a constant state of courage. I feel like I'm really going through a transition, and I'm so grateful to be able to share this. And I hope that you can resonate with me and relate to what I'm saying and find courage in your own life to achieve something, what it is that you want to achieve. And so now I want to share so as we get below courage, these are the destructive or the unhealthy behaviors. And so directly below courage is pride. And pride is my way is better, like it's superior or better than, like I'm better than you and what I think is better. And pride is focused on achievement and acknowledgement. It wants to be satisfied through those channels. Right below pride is anger, and anger is full of resentment and you did this, therefore I'll do that. It wants to get even. Below anger is desire, and I really find desire to be an interesting concept, because when you desire something, what you're saying is that there's something outside of you that's out of reach and you can't have it. It's like you're always trying to reach for the future. You want something, and we need to reframe our minds when we're in a state of desire to say, I already have this. So below desire is fear, and this is avoidance, this is jealousy, possessiveness, and it's anxious. It becomes dependency because we're afraid of something. It sees danger. When our feelings of fear creates situations in the outside world to make us fearful. Below fear is grief, and in grief we have a sense of helplessness, loss, and regret. And maybe you say to yourself, if only I had. Below grief is apathy, and apathy is a sense of depression and hopelessness. It's like, what does it matter? Who cares? And below apathy is guilt and shame. And so these are the lowest levels of the chain that we can find ourselves in, according to Dr. Hawkins. And when you feel like this, it's like you want to be punished. It's self-sabotaging, and you project this sense of self-hatred onto others that you perceive to be evil. And what I want to emphasize is that when we have negative experiences, it's okay. It's just a part of life. It's a human experience to feel negative. But what we need to do is we need to accept these negative emotions and deal with them instead of suppressing them or burying them inside of ourselves. Because no matter what, these emotions will come and they will act themselves out. And so it's better to deal with them in the moment where they're less intense than you would be if you buried it, and then all of a sudden you become this explosion of negative energy. And in my life, I'm guilty of this, right? I can admit that I've done this more times than I'm proud to say. And, you know, in chapter 4, Dr. Hawkins, he says something that I really took to be like, wow. I was like, my eyes opened up. And we shouldn't be mad at ourselves for behaving poorly in the past. Instead, we should accept it. Because right now, perhaps the reason I acted so bad in the past is because I didn't know how to handle these things in a healthy manner. And that's okay, because I wasn't taught these things. And now I'm not making an excuse, but what I'm doing is I'm accepting that what happened, and there's nothing I can do. And now I'm in a state of courage to change my behavior so that going forward, I don't fall victim to the same behavioral patterns, and I'm taking control of my life. And so, as I'm letting go of these negative emotions, I'm allowing the positivity to come and be a part of my spirit and radiate. And that's what Dr. Hawkins is trying to get us to understand, is when we let go of the negative emotions, we see them, we face them, we come, they leave us. You're creating space inside and for the positive energy to come. And that's where the healing lies. And so chapter 4 specifically talks about apathy. And apathy, as I mentioned, is like a sense of depression. Like, who cares? What does it matter? It doesn't, like, you know, we're all going to die anyway. It's a sense of nihilism. And when you're striving to become a better person or a healthier person, or just have a better sense of less suffering in your own life, you might say to yourself, oh, I can't do something. I can't do this. And you come up with all these reasons why you can't do something. But Dr. Hawkins, he asks a question. He says, is it that you can't do something, or is it that you won't do something? And when you ask yourself, am I just unwilling to do this? What happens is you start to realize that you create excuses inside of your own brain to stop you, to block you from doing something. And for example, I've had a really tough time making this video today, and I was almost saying like, oh, I can't do it because I'm too tired, or I can't do it because of this. But then I said, oh, I won't do it because I'm fearful of what people are going to say about me. I'm afraid of failing. And then when I'm afraid of failure, what happens is my pride gets involved. And when I become too prideful, I get angry because I'm like blocking myself. And as you can see, there's 3 negative emotions, or 3 destructive patterns that are existing simultaneously. But as soon as I acknowledged those and I felt those, and I didn't try to run away, I was able to look at this thinking pattern from a perspective of neutrality, and I was able to get into courage. And then I was able to start working my way up the chain. And now I'm sitting here making this video. And it's amazing. Like, it's like you take this lesson and you apply it to your life like instantly, and you can instantly see the changes. It's a fantastic experience, and I'm so happy about this. And so further along in chapter 4, we learn that a lot of people in this world are victimizing and we blame others. And blame is a tricky thing because blame, it exists. You could really say, oh, this happened to me. And what happens is with blame is you don't take credit. You don't take responsibility for your actions. You victimize. You say, I'm a victim. And it's not about being right or wrong, but with blame, you can say that this happened to you and you don't feel guilty because it's justified. But Dr. Hawkins, he encourages us to take responsibility and to choose instead of being a victim, because victimizing ourselves makes us weak. And when we're weak, we're full of negativity. But we should choose to be positive, because when we choose to be positive, we create space, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, for the courage and the love and the peace to infiltrate ourselves. And so I ask you, when is the last time you were afraid of something and that you found the courage to maybe jump off the cliff into the water or whatever, something that you were afraid of? When you overcame that fear and actually took action in the name of fear, in the name of courage against the fear, did you feel a sense of peace? Or were you afraid the whole time? Or were you relieved that you accomplished your task? And that maybe is something that you can think about as you listen to this video. And the last thing I want to say is, when you let go of anger, for example, and other negative or unhealthy behaviors, what you do is you're really creating space for forgiveness. And you can forgive yourself. And I am forgiving myself for all my past actions. And I'm not doing this for the people that I've, treated poorly, but I'm doing it for myself. And with that, I feel so much better. And I can live a righteous life that is more positive and full of meaning and purpose. And the last thing that I'll say is, I think hanging out with myself, I've kind of been alone these past days, and I say that in a positive way, right? And hanging out with myself, I've really learned that I need to be a better friend to myself and keep better company and look at myself as a friend instead of an enemy. And also my social circles, right? I want to start hanging out with individuals that are full of positivity, that are full of life and want to strive for the best. And I feel like I am coming to a life from a place of compassion instead of a place of fear. I don't project so much anymore because I'm aware of these things. And I feel better. And tomorrow we're going to talk about grief. And I thank you for watching this video, and have a wonderful evening.